In this demonstration, you will see how to use TCP/IP troubleshooting tools to help resolve common connectivity problems. So we're logged into the machine now. We're going to go to the command prompt, and we're going to look at our current IP configuration using ipconfig/all. And looking at the output of this screen, we can find out what our current configuration is. Now this command displays all network connections for the computer, and it shows all network adapter configuration information. Now if I do a ipconfig/display DNS, now what this command is going to do is going to display the contents of the DNS cache. So any machines that have had name resolution happen from this client is going to come up here with their name and IP address. So we can see that this machine has talked to a machine called london-dc1.contoso.com, and it knows that its IP address is 10.10.0.10. So one of the problems can happen is that if you have a host that has changed its record or updated its IP address, your machine may be looking at your cache, and if that machine has the machine you're trying to talk to has changed its IP address, your local cache will keep you from preventing talking to that machine. So you may have to flush your cache. We can do that by doing an ipconfig/flush DNS. Now what this is going to do is going to wipe out our cache. So you can see we successfully flushed the DNS cache. Now if I go back and I reissue the command display DNS, we're going to see that my cache is currently cleared. Let's do a ping 127.0.0.1 here. And as we know, though, that address is a loopback address, so it's going to ping for localhost. What this does is helps us to identify that our IP stack is working correctly. In this case, our IP version 4 stack is working correctly. We're able to communicate with ourselves on that network. We can also check connectivity to a remote machine. So I'm going to ping 10.10.0.10, and this is the address of this london-dc.contoso.com machine on the network. And so this is another command we can use to check for connectivity on a remote device. We can also ping by name. So if I ping lon-dc1, this is going to tell me whether or not my machine is able to resolve that name lon-dc1 to an IP address. So here we can see that it was able to successfully resolve the name lon-dc1, that NetBIOS name, into its proper IP address to verify connectivity. Another command I can use is the Nslookup command. The Nslookup command will allow me to interface with my DNS server to verify functionality of the DNS server, domain name server. So we're going to do a Nslookup on that London DC1 machine. That's going to provide more detailed information about the host name resolution. And we can see all the queries information that took place through this command. If we want to get more detail than what's providing us here now, we can add in a -D2 here. Oops. D2. And that's going to give us more information about this query that's going on, querying the DNS database. So a few commands that we learned here are the ipconfig/display DNS, which shows the contents of your DNS cache. We looked at the ipconfig/flush DNS, which clears your DNS local cache. And we also looked at the ping commands to test connectivity, as well as the Nslookup command, which allows us to interface with our DNS server for verifying DNS functionality.